After re-watching Late Night with the Devil, I realized that we're introduced to the devil right from the film's opening. And one of the major themes in the movie, hypnosis, is present as well, as we tune into the programming of an old late-night talk show. The devil is here with us, not necessarily in physical form, but his work is present and consumes the screen from the opening frame. But then we're confronted with our first break in continuity. We get to see what the TV audience doesn't see. We're taken backstage on each commercial break, watching the characters interact and exhibit their true characteristics. And this is where the devil's work really shines through. This change is marked by a shift in color. Instead of the warm color palette of the TV show where everyone is performing and engaging in a shared story, we're shown everything in black and white. Here, on commercial break backstage, is where we see the true nature of every character in the movie. When we combine what we see backstage with what we see on screen, we're shown a much more compelling story than what the fictional audience sees on their small television screens back in the 1970s. And as we follow the plot of the movie, getting closer and closer to the physical reveal of the devil, it brings to mind one of the bigger scenes in the film when the character Carmichael hypnotizes Jack Delroy's sidekick, Gus. The characters on stage and the TV audience are invited to join in on the hypnosis. We, as the viewer, are also invited to partake. And the stakes for hypnosis feel real here. The story that we've been told so far is extremely detailed and committed in its approach to make us feel like we're watching an old late-night talk show. We, as the audience, watch the movie just as the fictional audience watches the show, through the old TV built in with static frames and transitions. Initially, with it being horror film, I was scared to look. I wanted to avert my eyes and stay in my living room rather than venture deeper into the film. That way, I could avoid the big jump scare that had to be coming. But being hypnotized looked kind of fun. Who wouldn't want to enter this trance for a little bit? And when we think of hypnosis, we often think of it as a negative. Someone's taking us to a place that we want to go, but at the same time, the person doing the hypnotizing is holding the key to our escape. As long as they keep the trance going, we're stuck there. That kind of submission is usually only saved for drastic measures, maybe involving therapeutic purposes, like trying to recall past trauma and confront it. But in the movie, as the plot unfolded, I found myself on the edge of my seat, waiting for the devil to finally appear and to finally understand what his ultimate goal was. Why was the devil in the room with us, and which character or characters was he serving? When you look up the definition of hypnosis, it doesn't seem too malicious. Hypnosis is a human condition involving focused attention, reduced peripheral awareness, and an enhanced capacity to respond to suggestion. When I thought about the themes of the movie and its unique style of filmmaking, I began to wonder just how much we are hypnotized. To me, this definition sounds like something I experience every day when I'm sucked into a show on TV or something on my phone. And Late Night with the Devil shows us that being hypnotized isn't necessarily a bad thing. The main character, Jack Delroy, faces punishment from the devil, but only because he tried to have it all: success, love, and everything in between. And as a result, he lost his wife to cancer. When one of the characters is hypnotized on the show, we see the horrors initially, but only because we've been hypnotized. When looking at what happened objectively, we see everything is totally fine. I'm wondering if that's a metaphor for our current consumption of content and media. The constant screens and endless amount of entertainment sucks us in, and it changes the way that we see the world. On the surface, TV doesn't seem so harmful. But when you start to unpack what's being broadcast, how it's being shown, and maybe most importantly, who decides what's being shown, it starts to look a little more like hypnosis. And that's really the scariest part, is do we trust the person or people hanging the spinning wheel in front of us? In the movie, we finally get a better look at those people doing the hypnotizing. The Grove is referenced throughout the film, rumored to be a special place for the elite where they can engage in occult rituals. And our worst fears are confirmed when we are shown the devil's infiltration to the Grove as they push Jack to do their bidding. We get illusions that Jack has been up to no good since his wife died. It almost seems like he planned to have this special Halloween night, inviting what looks to be his friend June onto the show. It seems that he's met the devil before, as Lily says in the film, but maybe this time it's too much for Jack, who loses himself in the chaos of the devil's appearance. Jack is also the only one who didn't try to put up any defense against the devil. His sidekick uses a standard Christian cross, June uses her religious necklace, Carmichael tries to use money, which hilariously is the stupidest defense here, but Jack sits there, engaging with the devil, wanting another chance to talk to his beloved wife. It's clear from this movie that the line between the storytelling and hypnosis is pretty thin. There are so many layers of storytelling here. Jack is weaving a story for his TV audience, but the Grove and occult worshippers told the story to Jack. A story that says he could have it all. The ratings, the success, but there is a price to pay. And when Jack tries to backpedal, the devil punishes him accordingly. I loved Late Night with the Devil. It was great to see David Dastmalchian take on a leading role. After so many minor roles for him in Dark Knight or even the recent Dune movies, it's clear that he has some real acting talent, and I'd love to see him in another leading role soon. What did you think of the film? Comment below the video to share some of your favorite moments, and be sure to subscribe for more film essays in the future. Thanks for watching.